Hello and welcome everyone to another episode. Yes, so I didn't really get to show off too much of the whole cam mod that I had last episode, and I tried to, and I got to show you guys a few cool things, but we are launching the Kerbal Orbital Observatory, or whatever you would like to call it. To me, it just looks like Hubble. It pretty much is a Hubble mock, or whatever you would like to call it. I forgot. It's a simulation of Hubble. But yeah, it looks pretty good. I was kind of messing around with it before. Everything looks pretty good with it. And the only thing I gotta say is I was looking at the texture packs once again. And if you guys have any ideas for mods, once again, please feel free to leave them in the comments. Please, like or whatever, all the good stuff. And please, definitely. I was looking at a lot of the mods, and the astronomy pack. The one thing I was looking at adding, I was trying to figure it out, and for the life of me, for some reason, I could not figure out how to get a better universe. The background texture I was actually looking to replace. Some of these things I'm a little bit. I'm pretty open with modding and stuff like that, but once it starts getting a little bit too technical, I kind of just throw my hands up and I smile and nod and walk away. But no, I was looking at it. I'm probably going to take another shot at it. I couldn't really get it working. The main issue is that I have so many mods installed to actually start up my game now. It kind of is an issue where it takes maybe about 2 minutes or so for the game to actually start up, 2-3 minutes. And it just gets a little bit of that point where you're like, all right, come on, hurry up, I'm trying to get stuff done, hurry up. And you're constantly just looking for it to start up, and it's not doing that. So it's not that I really am strapped for time that badly, but loading and reloading the game on a constant basis isn't a fun thing to do either, which I'm thinking of possibly just installing a vanilla version and then just adding and removing mods as the time goes on. But the other thing I was a little concerned with as well is that I don't want to get too in-depth with the textures to the point of which that my frame rate or the gameplay itself becomes a bit unplayable. Not that I'm really that concerned with it, but I do have a fairly decent computer. It's just I want the experience to be just as good for me as it is for you guys, along with recording, and I don't want any real issues to be to rear their ugly head later on in the game, or if I decide to start building really massive structures that the textures and stuff, you guys know about all this stuff, so I don't need to explain it that much. But yeah, so I added a few little extra things here and there. This thing does not come stock, or it does come stock with its own solar panels, but I decided to add on extra. I added on a few extra things, some SAS modules, some batteries, and our very own, which I should get this set up and on, our very own satellite dish. Now, I decided that, having a satellite dish on here would be very helpful, because having satellite dishes on all of these things will become progressively helpful as I start building more and more around Kerbin. It will help out with creating a satellite network. It's going to be a very messy, very stretched out satellite network, but it will work, and it will really help extend that grid out as far as we need it. So that is kind of one of the major things, but it will be taking us a little while to get into orbit here. This main stage here is probably the longest stage, and I didn't want to go all out with some massive rocket. Come on, lift back up, come on. Oh god. See, this payload isn't 100% stable. It's a little bit, the weight is kind of off. It's a little bit more heavy on this side than it is on this one, so it likes to pull down a little bit too much. But I think we should be at that point where we're getting close enough to having almost a stable orbit. I didn't want to go down that far. That probably screwed things up for us a little bit, but I think we'll be alright. Our nuke stage here, it has more than enough probably to get us all the way to the moon, so I'm not very concerned with that. But I'm going to start popping out these satellite the communications pieces, and decouple that. See you later. You served us well. As always, you served us very well. But yeah, I'm not too concerned with debris. I also have debris turned off in this modded series. So, I mean, that is one thing I was always curious about, is whether you guys really care about stuff like that. I particularly don't care about cleaning up all my debris and what have you. It's not that much of an issue, nor do I really see it as being one. So I just kind of said, you know, whatever. There's no point in having it on. I'm probably not going to ever clean up any of the stuff or build ships to clean up the huge mess that I'll probably end up creating around Kerbin with all these separate little satellite pieces and everything else just flying around everywhere. So I think we have gotten close enough into orbit to where we can start extending the panels, and we can also get our multispectral scan going. Oh, I did not see that. I don't like that. Stuff like that, it's clipping. I don't like that. I should have checked into that. I also don't really care for the color of the solar panels on this too. I don't really like it when they kind of go out. When some of the modders kind of go outside of their bounds with the color of the solar panels or certain things like that. I am kind of one of these people when it comes to, as far as like purists are concerned. I kind of talked about this a little bit last episode, but I kind of care about stuff like where the solar panels all match colors and where certain things just all kind of match up. So let's see, do I need a let's see. If I open the lens, then will that... Yeah, that puts this little satellite dish there up. I'll just have the lens open, whatever. If micrometeoroids just fly in and damage the lens, that's not that big of a deal. Who cares? Dust and dirt and debris and whatever else have you goes in there, it's not that big of a deal. We'll just have to, you know, build a shuttle and they'll fly up and fix it. Oh, that would be awesome too. I did end up putting like a docking port on here too, and I did put an ion engine as well for in case if we end up needing to go further out or, you know, whatever. But anyways, guys, I'm gonna speed up most of this, and I'll see you once we start getting closer into orbit. So I think I'm going to go over a little bit. I did cover most of this, but I did add a whole bunch of batteries to it. I really wanted a whole bunch of electrical charge. I did not want this thing running out of power in any kind of way, but what a better place to stop than right here. So I think, hey, there's telescope debris over there. Beautiful. Let's see. What a better place to start than right here. So we can go in to the... It's basically a camera view, but you're inside of the telescope here, and you can just kind of point in any direction wherever it is you want. It is a little bit touchy with the SAS, but you use your mouse wheel to zoom in, and now you can start seeing the detail being brought out, but ooh, that is a little bit touchy. But I wanted it to be a little touchy, but not this bad, but this is actually kind of bad. I don't know, I might end up just disabling one of these SAS wheels. Let's see. So you can start seeing the planet being made out. What I'm going to do first is actually we'll go out and turn off one of these SAS wheels, because I think that's what's really causing the issue here. But let's see. Go into, yeah, activate camera. There we go. So we'll zoom back in, and you can start seeing, oh, yeah. I think we're going to have to disable the other one too. That's way too much movement. We cannot work with this. Sorry, guys. I really hate to be dragging this on so much, but we'll turn this one off too, and we'll get back in view. Luckily, it doesn't change anything as far as where we're pointed, but alright, there we go. There's our planet, and we just need a very fine control here. But you guys can see, I know that it's probably really terrible with the 720. You probably can't make out very much, but the planet is actually right here where my mouse wheel, I'm keeping it's off to the right of my mouse. So I'll zoom out since we can't really see that one. We'll jump over to this guy over here. I believe this might be Moho, but I'm not sure. Or no, that may have been Moho. This is probably Duna. It does have a little bit of a red glow to it, just like in real life when you're trying to look at Mars. So let's see. Alright. Yeah, there is a moon to it, and I don't think we're going to be able to see very much. If anything, we might be able to see... Ooh, the textures are freaking out a little bit too. But that is Duna. Definitely is Duna. And the reason why it's moving, at least somewhat on the screen, is because of the fact that, you know, we are in orbit, so therefore it's going to take a little while for it, or it's not going to stay in focus very long. I don't know if it really probably wouldn't change much if I put this in a geosynchronous or a Kerbal orbit. But here is Eve as well, and you can see its moon, Gilly. And Eve is one of them that actually does kind of show up pretty well. Definitely looks awesome. You can kind of make out a little bit of the surface and the lakes and everything else, but you guys can see the textures are just freaking out right now. I don't know how to fix that or really, you know, change any of that, but that just looks terrible, but at the same time looks absolutely beautiful. So let's get back out here, and I believe Jewel is off to the left here. So let's I'll actually turn it on, please. Oh, there we go. Yeah, we're not clicking on it. There we go. Just swing this over, and we'll take a look at the moon shortly. But I will take a look at Jewel first and kind of give you guys an idea on what you can see and everything else, because this mod I think is pretty awesome, because I am a very big fan of astronomy. And activate camera. There we go. Oh, we're pretty well lined up too. That's not that bad. So you can even what is that? Is this Jewel? It has to be Jewel. Yeah, that's Jewel. Now, it's funny because this is kind of actually what, if you guys have ever seen Jupiter through a telescope, um, it looks roughly similar. This right here looks roughly similar to what Jupiter looks like in a telescope. You see, with my telescope, you can make out a fairly decent amount of Jupiter as well. You can see the actual rings, but my God, that looks terrible. The textures are just freaking out. But yeah, there's Jewel. God. Yeah, you can probably see the moons of it too. Yeah, there's one of the moons. And let's try zooming in on that to see what we can get. I really don't know if this is going to really give us a very big amount, or we'll be able to see very much at all. I'll try this moon here, see if we can see anything over there. I honestly can't. Oh, there it is, I think. Yeah, there it is. You can just barely make it out, and it's flashing like crazy, so it looks terrible. That has to do with a texture problem or something like that. I was looking into that, and this is kind of one of the reasons why I was looking into possibly using a different texture pack. But yeah, we got our telescope here, and we can take a look at the moon while we're at it. And, hopefully the textures maybe on the moon aren't as terrible, but, we'll see what we can get. So just point us right at the moon. That should be right on the money, almost. So we'll turn that off and jump back in. And, yeah, that's pretty much on the money. And even the moon right now, we probably won't be able to make out much. I know it's up a little bit, otherwise oh, there we go. Yeah, see that? Now that looks good. The textures really aren't freaking out on this guy, or on the moon, but yeah, looks very similar to some of the images I have actually taken. But, well, actually, I can't say I've seen that many craters, but I have taken some pretty good images of the moon, which I will probably put a couple of them in here so you guys can see. I do upload them to Twitter as well, so if you'd like to see them, you can go to Twitter and, save them, maybe, or whatever. Hey, it's up to you. But yeah, so this is looking pretty good. I hope you guys are really liking this. It's not anything really too Kerbal related. I really don't, know exactly how to put it, but, this thing is freaking awesome, and I am really glad that there are mods out there that are kind of dedicated towards astronomy. And it is one of these things that really isn't emphasized much on nowadays, and people usually buy telescopes and use them only for a day or 2 days, and then they just stop using them. What is that out there? That is a good question. What is that way out there? Is that that would probably be Elu. I'm probably not going to look for Elu right now, but the one thing I was going to see is, from what I've heard, you can actually view, like your space stations and stuff like that, so we'll set that as a target, we'll point towards it and see if we can see anything, which, I don't know, but we'll try. So let's see, we'll turn the torque on and flip ourselves all the way around. I think we do have still at least somewhat of a line of sight of the station. I'm not 100% certain on that one, but I think we're pretty close. So we'll turn that off, and let's just see, just barely. So we'll try to see it, see what we can get. Just keep zooming in, I guess, indefinitely zooming in to see nothing. I don't even see the station at all. I'm probably not looking in the right area, or I'm probably not doing something right, but I don't see the station whatsoever. I figured I'd be able to see the panels. I think I'll wait until we're both on the light side here, or at least I can at least get a view of the station. One more orbit around. Yeah, there we go. I think that... Well, no, I'll wait a little bit longer. Yeah, that's a pretty good line of sight. And we'll align ourselves to the station once again. I'm probably doing this in vain. There probably won't be able to see anything, but ooh, that's a little disorientating. Alright. Station should be over here. Roughly. I really hope so. I really hope I'm not doing this for nothing. Try this one more time. Close that. Close. There we go. No, I don't see a station anywhere. I really don't see a station at all. Oh, this sucks. No, this mod's great. What am I saying? Wait, what is that? Oh, that's just a stray pixel. See, I don't even see like a speck of the station. From what I was reading with the far mod or whatever, the texture mod that I have, you should be able to see things from a far away distance, but I'm really not seeing anything. I'm pretty sure there's somebody out there that's gonna be like, well, didn't you see it? Oh my god, that is beautiful. That is absolutely beautiful. Let's get rid of all that. There we go. That is beautiful. We'll just keep it right there for a little while. Just take this in. Well, guys, we have successfully launched our sort of Hubble styles telescope, and you know, everything's looking pretty good. That was absolutely awesome. Too bad we couldn't see our station. I was really trying, or at least hoping we would be able to see it, but yeah. So anyways, guys, if you like what you see here, subscribe. There's always more to come. Tell you new people welcome. And yeah, I will see you next time.